Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Get On With It, the Ur-Quan Masters. Don't know for how much longer I'm going to be recording, could be the final episode. Last episode, we introduced ourselves to the Yehad, convinced them that the show fixie were reborn, and then for like 20-25 minutes we slogged it out there with the Vux and Beta Luton, I believe they was pronounced in the game, although I'd always called it Luton. It's like I'm a moron. This episode, I was supposed to think about this between videos, and I did a terrible job of it. I tell you what, we're gonna meet somebody new this video. To do that, we are going to go to Quasi-Space. We don't have that many new people to meet, by the way, just so you all know, we don't have that many new people. Let's go ahead and use our quasi-portal here. We have a lot of fuel, though we are down some crew thanks to my fighting. So I'm actually going to take the time here to slide crew off of all these other vessels, Whiffo ship being last. That way I have a full complement of crew aboard the Starlight, because I'm actually going to need them. I hope you like combat, because we're going to be seeing a lot of that as we head to... Where's my proper one? Star map here. I want to go to 476458. I can do that. Here we go.
Let's go. Oh, it's me, Mario.
Trust me, it's not Mario.
It's me, Grimith.
There we go. Now, this portal takes us all the way up here. Fun times, right? But I have a star system written on my note sheet with no freaking explanation by it. That's great. I'll have to decipher that one later, between videos. But we don't need to worry about that right now, because it doesn't involve this. We are actually gonna head on over to Delta Draconis. That's Beta Draconis, that's Alpha Draconis, Zeta Draconis. I guess we could head there, too. Oh, and I guess, by the way, while I'm thinking about it, one of these white stars, I think, was supposed to have a rainbow world. So, if that's Gamma Draconis... That's Decana Draconis. Delta Draconis... Nah, it's Epsilon Draconis. Where's Delta? I probably already found it. Okay, there we go. So, I'll hook into this star first, and then this star, if the rainbow world's not in the first one, and then I'll go to Delta Draconis. Okay, folks? Okay. Alright. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and get out of this space here so we don't get dragged into the doctrinal conflict. Now, I guess I should have saved my super combat session with the Vux for these folks. Because in order to properly do what I want to do, to show off, you need to get into combat. A lot. So, hope your folks are ready for a combat-heavy episode. And I believe this is the system with the Rainbow World. Sweet. We found a total of 3 of them. Go ahead and swoop in and visit this planet, right, y'all? And lo and behold, yes, it is a Rainbow World. Filled, as always, with goodies. And lightning bolts. Cargo manifest shows free 400. Okay. Got plenty of space then. Let's go pick up a round of these radioactives. Let's not let the elements bother us too much. Grab that and that. Snag some plutonium and some more plutonium, and finally lose 3 crew. Curses. But cargo manifest of another 100 radioactives. roster, take some more crew off of Fwiffo's ship. I'm sure Fwiffo is really upset now that he's part of this whole fight, instead of being with all of his Spathy friends on the slave-shielded Spathiwa. Those cowards. They will rue the day they deserted the new Alliance of Free Stars, everyone. Just so you know, rue. If you rue it, they will come. What? So, you'll notice the Mycon sphere is continuing to be pummeled into nothingness. That's a good thing. And I'm not sure exactly what those ships are, but they are probably who I'm going to meet. They could also be Ur-Quan, because I'm close to them, or Korra. Probably not Slylandro probes anymore. So, let's go and say hello. Hello, 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 hello. Let's meet each other. Say hi. Are you ready? New race, new species. They are...
So, what's this? An unknown alien species. How wonderful. Someone new to fight. We, the Thraddash of Culture 19, famous Ur-Quan combat thralls, know well the value of a good fight. Either you win and prove your superiority, or you lose and are vanquished. If the vanquished is lucky, it may survive to learn an important lesson from its defeat. This is the way of the Thraddash. We fight and learn and improve. All other cultural schemes are inferior. This is a proven fact. What have you to say before we begin combat?
Thraddash of Culture 19, we sense a bit of hostility here. Why? What can you tell us of your species? Your blustering does not impress me. We have requirements which you will fulfill now. We wish nothing from you save your friendship, or we live in peace. Thraddash of Culture 19, we sense a bit of hostility here. Why?
Hostility? Har, har, har. We are not hostile. Hostility is unwarranted aggression. If you want to know about hostility, let us tell you about Culture 12. Culture 12 was so hostile that while they were on their way to their first great battle, Junka, the battle master, stepped on Nusko, the tactician's foot, causing him great pain. The annoyed Nusko turned on his battle master, Junka, and sliced his body in half. This miffed Junka's troops, who took it upon themselves to murder Nusko and his elite troops. The real trouble started when now dead Junka's master sergeants, Mood and Put, started arguing about how to kill Nusko. Simple crucifixion or the slower lead tattoo technique. The argument was resolved when Mood and his 500 troops were slaughtered by Put and his gang. Well, this probably all would have gone down in history as a great day of learning for Culture 12, were it not for the surprise arrival of Culture 12's original enemy, the Yajag and his cronies, who wiped out Culture 12's army, thus beginning the long and glorious Culture 13. Now that's hostility. We, on the other hand, merely want to kill you. Talk, blah. Talk is for sissies. Weaklings like those of Culture 14. For 10,000 years, we Thraddash have fought and died, learned and improved. Then, along came Culture 14, which claimed that all this perfect method was wrong. That each time we violently transformed to a new culture, we inevitably blasted ourselves back at least 500 years in development. Some people just cannot accept the cost of progress. Indeed, the foolishness of Culture 14's peaceful whining was revealed when they were conquered by Culture 15 after only a 10-year reign. And did the change to Culture 15 set us back 500 years? No. Joe, maybe 300 years tops. The short span of Culture 14's reign is objective proof that as a way of life, peace is a failure.
So violent, Rhino dudes. What more can you tell us about your Culture 19?
What? More talk? It amazes me that you ever got out of the orbit of your home planet. Yak, yak, yak. Yammer, yammer, yammer. Very well, we will talk for a moment. Our Culture 19 is the most formidable ever to appear in Thraddash space. Admittedly, we said something similar about Culture 18, but it is true. With our rather swift defeat by the Ur-Quan and subsequent enslavement, we realized that it was time for a change. A new culture had to be established. So of course, we began a thermonuclear exchange to decide who would lead this new culture. We were all quite disappointed when the Ur-Quan in orbit above our homeworld launched waves of fighters who intercepted all our missiles. The Ur-Quan explained that slaves were not permitted to engage in such destructive conflicts. So my people, being superior, introduced a super lethal poison into our opponent's water and air, thus ending the conflict. The Ur-Quan were not particularly happy about this resolution and killed all our leaders, which, under other circumstances, would have started a larger inter-Thraddash war. But the Ur-Quan appointed new leaders, apparently chosen at random, and explained that further disobedience would result in the destruction of our species. Frustrating, huh?
You wonder why the Ur-Quan are so adamant about protecting other species from themselves. And then you meet folks like the Thraddash, and then you're like, maybe the Ur-Quan have a point.
A foolish question. We are their slaves, dolt. What else would we be? When the Ur-Quan first appeared in our space, over 50 years ago, coming from the direction of the Ophiuchi stars, we attacked them with gusto, zipping in to fire our Mark 6 blasters, and then theoretically zipping back out to prepare for another attack run. Unfortunately, before we could zip out, our ships were either blasted to smithereens by the Ur-Quan's fusion bolts, or were picked apart by the swarms of Ur-Quan fighter vessels. You may wonder why we didn't use our afterburners to escape. The answer is simple. 50 years ago, our ships had not yet been modified for this enhancement. It was not until 2143 that maintenance engineer Rion invented the afterburner effect. When he accidentally stuck his cigar in the aft fuel valve of the ship he was working on, Waboom! The ship took off like a farm out of hell, and Rion was fried to a crisp. Yes, we remember Rion with much fondness. Of course, we have refined the device, and now that our entire fleet has been fitted with the Rion afterburners, perhaps now the Ur-Quan will let us fight at their side as true battle thralls.
Why didn't you fight against the Alliance? And where are the Ur-Quan?
We wanted to. Oh, how we wanted to. After all, we were the first battle thralls the Ur-Quan enslaved in this part of space. We thought we had priority, but the Ur-Quan thought we were too weak to hold our own in the upcoming battles, so they left us here to guard the flank. If only we had been stronger and less troublesome. Another reason the Ur-Quan wouldn't take us with them was because we kept picking fights with the new battle slaves, like the Umbablabis or those religious idiots, the Ilrad. Where did they go, you ask? This is a secret, of course. We can't tell you. If We told you that they were fighting a secret war against a mysterious invader. You might find some way to use that information against our masters. So forget it. No secrets.
Damn it. Oh, hey. Hey, I've got an idea. Why don't you go impress your Ur-Quan masters and show off your afterburner modification by attacking the Ur-Quan's enemy?
What foolish stupidity! Why, that's as dumb an idea as... What did you say? Attack the Ur-Quan's enemy? Help them win their war? Why, that's an excellent idea. I'm glad I thought of it. We shall marshal our forces and leave at once. Stupid, human, pitiful, weakling dog. You have been helpful. So as a reward, you may leave alive. And when we return from our glorious campaign, we may even honor you with a retelling of the many great battles we shall certainly win. Until then, get lost!
Okay! I completely forgot I could do that! That's great! Oh, that's awesome. Now, you can handle the Thraddash in a variety of ways. Note that they actually guard the Aqua Helix at one of their worlds. So you can handle them a variety of ways. One, you can convince the Thraddash to go away to help the Ur-Quan fight the Korra. The Thraddash will do so. Two, you can pummel the Thraddash into oblivion repeatedly by destroying them so much that they decide, you know what, our culture is shitty, you've been beating the shit out of us, let's make a new culture. And you can be allies. You'll probably betray that alliance by stealing the Aqua Helix, but what the fuck. And the third one is one I did not quite show off. I know, because I'm a terrible person. But I will explain that one whenever we get to it. Don't say anything in the comments about it. Whenever it occurs, then we'll talk about it then, okay? I just know there are multiple ways to deal with the Thraddash. I thought I was gonna do light combat. Whoops. Well then, now that we solved that, I'm sorry. You guys can go bend the Thraddash over if you want, I guess. You can see that on your own time, okay? Okay, we need to head to Zeta Draconis, I believe. That's what I've written down. Got my notes. So, let's go do that. You guys have fun fighting the Ur-Quan. Excuse me, you'll be fighting the Korra, although they're both Ur-Quan. Uh-oh. Yeah, so eventually the Thraddash sphere will start moving down here. And, pro tip, they're gonna get their asses kicked, okay? Just so you know. Somebody did ask in the comments a bunch of videos ago. I didn't answer that then, I'll have to post a reply to that. I was pretty lax this past week in answering comments. Feeling pretty sluggish. But the battle, the doctrinal conflict, is scripted. It does not change. You can interfere with it a bit through various interactions, but ultimately there is a time limit. And that's because eventually the doctrinal conflict gets solved. Okay? No spoilers. No more spoilers. Shh, don't talk about it. Okay? Secret. I don't have to block you, okay? Super secret. Right. So, since we don't have to go through a bajillion instances of combat, we're just going to move on to Zeta Draconis. Wherever that is. No, that's the wrong constellation. There we go. So, on with the show. Alright, I don't remember which world it was, though. Suppose that could be a problem. Dum-de-dum-dum. Let's just pick one. Then we'll go through them all, I guess. If I can't find it. Hello? Primordial world, do you have any energy signet? Oh, you do! Excellent. This is what I was looking for. First try. Fantastic. Note that coming here without having sent the Thraddash away would result in a lot of ships there, if I recall correctly. It's kind of important. Report from surface. Captain, we have discovered some sort of alien shrine here on the surface. The building is immensely old, at least 2,000 years. Inscribed around the perimeter of the cylindrical shrine are innumerable hieroglyphics which document the history of each of the 19 Thraddash cultures. From what we have seen, we have learned that the Thraddash have risen to star-faring technology at least 3 separate times, only to nuke themselves back into the Stone Age again and again. The real surprise, Captain, was what we found inside the shrine. We knew the Thraddash kept something down here, but we didn't know what it was until we went inside the shrine. In the exact middle of the structure was a tall dais of white stone. Set atop this dais was an immense aqua gemstone, somehow shaped into a flat, twisted ribbon like a DNA helix. The aqua helix emitted incredible light pulses, illuminating the cavernous shrine like a giant strobe light. At least it did. Until Private Hendricks decided to see what would happen if he grabbed the artifact. The helix immediately ceased glowing and has remained quiescent ever since. We will bring the aqua helix back aboard the ship for further investigation. End of report. Okay. With that out of the way, see, the Thraddash sphere is moved. If you chat with them later, they will note that you kinda stole that, and they won't be too happy. No, not too happy. You know, I think I can go ahead and pay a visit to my friends of Cyrene now. Seems they have clobbered the Mycon there, and the Mycon appear to be retreating back to their home systems. I think the Cyrene have gotten their due vengeance. So, let's go ahead and save the game now. And navigate right on out of here. Alright. Item get. We need those 3 items, if you recall, to repair the Ur-Quan, which we have not yet gotten. But we will get that eventually, and once we repair the Ur-Quan, well, things will happen. Yeah, the Mycon are on the move. They're like, fuck this. Although I guess I could let them run all the way back to their star systems. Well, where am I going to go next? I could delay talking to the Cyrene for a bit. Still got a few places to go. Not this cluster. It just looked weird on the map. We've got to explore this northeastern range here some. I could do that before heading back down south. Yeah. Okay, sure. I have a lot of fuel. Let's go do that then. Pull out my notes here for the relevant information. Hold on, I'm gonna pause the game. Or pause the video. I'll be right back. Okay, I think we're good to go. That's our target, by the way, Beta Libre. And we better quickly get out of here.
Bye.
Now, the proper wormhole for this one is at 5:30, 5:28, I believe. You guys are gonna get to meet a lot of aliens in this episode. Oh my science. I could stop and restart. Nah, I'd take effort. Screw that. Now, if memory serves, we've picked up this information already from the Melnorme. Although if we haven't, then you can just attribute this to me knowing about the game. Me knowing bits and pieces. Alright. So, hello. Hi, how are you? Let's go say hello to the friends, and I should probably make a backup save, just in case things go awry. Because I've done a lot this video. Okay, hello.
Greetings, fellow carbon creatures. May your roots always be well watered. I am Captain Allah Lala. We come in peace. Our starship is called the Tender Shoot. We are the Supox Utricularia from Earth. Oh yes, we apologize for the confusion. Our home world is also called Earth, or more properly, Fleck, which means perfectly good and nutritious dirt. Earth is pretty close, is it not? We learn and we adapt. We are symbionts. Our first step in making friends is always to copy them. This is our idiom. Our kind evolved on a beautiful planet, orbiting the wonderfully green-hued star Roots. From the canopy of the great jungle to the shores of the azure seas, our species has flowered and grown well. Early in our evolution, we adapted to exist in symbiosis with other hardier life, both flora and fauna, who supplied us with nutrients, while we supplied them with reproductive assistance. Yes, this has been confirmed by our people as well. Strange, is it not? Many of our people regard this inconsistency as proof of our divine origin. We share this region of space with the Utwig, the wearers of masks. We have a strong cultural bond with the Utwig. They have been the foundation around which we have grown our starfaring culture. We are not only allies, but we are also friends. You should go meet with them. They could use some excitement. You see, they are a little depressed and morose right now. Usually they are most festive and fun. They broke their Ur-Quan.
They broke their Ultron? No! Ultron? What's an Ultron?
The Druge, the cruel, salad trading race who sold the device to the Utwig, called the device the Ultron, and claimed that it would give the Utwig superpowers. Unfortunately, the Utwig believed the Druge and bought the Ultron. However, the device did make the Utwig very happy. Of course, we didn't tell them what we really thought of the Ultron. That they were vapid fools to buy a piece of junk for a planet's ransom. We went along with the falsehood, and in doing so showed our own stupidity. Then, one sad day a few years ago, the Utwig Proctor dropped the Ultron during a particularly energetic and festive ritual. Now the Utwig are morose and depressed. They feel they cannot ever achieve greatness because they lost the powers of the Ultron. They even gave the broken device to us, saying that they couldn't stand the sight of it anymore. We are worried that the Utwig are so depressed that they may use their ultimate weapon. Here, you take the Ultron. Maybe you can do something with it.
I'm surprised a regular ship captain has access to the Ultron, but why thanks. You know, you remind me of broccoli, and I'm rather partial to broccoli with a light cheese.
Oh, you
Oh shit!
vegetarian! Defilers of the leaf! Uprooters! Be gone, or we shall uproot you!
Oops!
So it is you! The blockers of the warm sunlight! The water poisoners! The hate shrubbery! Be gone before our wrath
Tell you what, folks. Thanks. I'll be right back. Let's try that again.
We thought that if we could get the Ultron working again, it would cheer them up. So, we tried to figure out how to fix the darn thing, or at least get some of the flashing bits working again. But for all the Druzh's falsehoods, the Ultron is some kind of artifact, and we could not synthesize the necessary replacement parts. Perhaps on your journeys, you will find the elements necessary to repair the Ultron. Then you could give it to the Utwig, and maybe they wouldn't be so depressed.
That was totally worth it. So, I guess just let the Supox believe that you are carnivores. Alright, so yes. Interesting enough race. If I had to listen to their voice for an extended period of time, I might have to joke a bit. Not as annoying as the Pkunk, though. Not as annoying as the Pkunk. That's a special, oops.
Greetings, fellow carbon creatures. May your roots always be well watered.
Thanks. Where do you think I can find repair materials for this Ultron thing?
Perhaps a good place to start would be the Druge, since they were the ones who sold it to the Utwig in the first place.
Perhaps. We're off now.
May sunlight and water always fall upon you.
Yay! So I guess, since we can't end this video on such a happy, peppy, positive note, we need to go meet these Utwig and have a chat with them about how they're doing it wrong. Now, they can be located in the... Hold on. Let me pull up ye old star map. You'll notice that the Thraddash have decided to clash there. Of course, they're not supposed to interfere. That's the secret. It's the doctrinal conflict and no one's allowed to interfere. The Thraddash don't know that. They're not that bright if you haven't noticed. And we don't have to worry about them ever again. Unless we want to. I don't know whether we want to or not. We'll see. I don't think I really can anyway. Since I kinda took their Aqua Helix, they're gonna be pissed at me. Forever. And... Hello? Hello? Let's make some new friends. Friends. I like making friends. Herp! Herp-a-derp.
I suppose, as a courtesy, I should extend an appropriate greeting. On behalf of the Utwig Proctors, I truly hope, for your sake, that your day has been better than ours, although this really isn't saying that much. What good would that do? I mean, why should we? We agonized for hours, wondering if it was a cruel twist of fate or simply a serious case of butterfingery. The lifetimes that have been spent in the pursuit of the elusive answer to this deceptively simple question has driven many of us down the dark road of self-destruction. Indeed, even as these words strike the ears of any who care to listen, the real question is, does it matter? I cannot say. I wallow in a quandary, unable to determine what better atones for my part of the great sin. Should I engage in slow and painful self-termination? Should I commit myself to a long life of painful self-flagellation? Should I throw myself with enthusiastic verve at the problem of collective annihilation? I do not know. Even now, my mind writhes in anguish of indecision, lest the outcome be inadequate.
Wow. Wow. I detect that recent events have not gone your way. Why don't you start at the beginning?
Alright, I'll try. But you know, it really doesn't matter. After all, we have a famous Utwig saying. When one loses the reason for existence, one tends to get less motivated. This goes hand in hand with the painfully appropriate credo, we broke it so we are paying for it. Of course, this isn't really accurate. The situation is so much more hideous. Imagine, if you can, holding within your hands the answer, only to have it taunt you with its former potential. Ah, cruel irony. The loss of the Ur-Quan grieves us all.
Yes, of course, the Ur-Quan we grieve. How sad. Now, what was it again?
Bah! It doesn't
Bah!
matter. Besides being of no concern to you, I find discussion of this matter, well, distasteful. The Ur-Quan was not the only thing which assures total and complete meaning of life for you and I. It is universal. I'm sure that you two are aware of this thing, if only in legend. It granted us all limitless power and knowledge. It has been since, well, rendered inoperative. You are kind. If we could wield the Ur-Quan to resurrect your splib, we would. But I suddenly am overcome with waves of depression. I must retire now to perform rituals of anguish. Waves of trauma wash across my being even now. I must go.
Well then, we're not done yet. Did not want to coast into you.
Just go away. Leave us to ponder our grief.
Fine. First,
We know nothing of this species that you mentioned. However, while we are on the subject of evil and powerful species, we have encountered a particularly gruesome race that seemed to come from the direction of Arcturus. When we hailed them, they responded with mighty weapons that sent our delegation to their deaths. Lucky fools. The aliens' dark, crusty battleships are capable of guiding spinning mines into almost any location. And should an enemy get too close, a fiery corona emerges to inflict fearsome damage. In our skirmishes with the race who called themselves the Core we found that by using our own shielding capability, we could sweep through the mines, absorb the corona, and then get close enough to the dark ships to give a lick of our own. In truth, however, they are very powerful and ruthless. When the Core started to press toward our home world, we thought that our deserved punishment was being administered. But then, a mystery? They suddenly became disinterested and veered away. Bah, confounding frustration. With the Ur-Quan, I could speak knowledgeably on this subject. To have this quality torn from our grasp emphasizes how meaningless our existence really is. This lack of meaning is what drives my species to the serious contemplation of a quick end. Your query once again painfully reminds me of the Ur-Quan and what it was for the universe. I could tell you all and correct all that is wrong in the universe. All I can tell you is that the Kor-Ah live to kill. Their stated purpose is to seek out new life and new civilizations and then annihilate them. We seem to qualify as such, and that is why it is puzzling that after pursuing us with some tenacity, they suddenly turned away and headed toward Craterus. All this speculation would be unnecessary.
Shoot me now.
It would not have taken much. A diving catch, a thrown pillow, even a fuzzy wumpus would have broken the fall satisfactorily. Indeed, a panel convened to analyze the possibilities concluded there were at least 623 ways that the Ultron could have been saved if we had been prepared. Let us cease our discussion concerning these matters. To say the least, our past is one of a glorious and proud people, coupled with a cataclysm that rocks the universe to its very core. It all began when the chimps rose from the murky bog, and the Utwig emerged as well. In these primitive times, we cavorted about our world, oblivious to any sort of higher purpose. We took everything at face value. Meanwhile, the tendrils of the chimp infiltrated the vast sky canopies of Faz, and then the veils fell. Suddenly, the Utwig were stunned by a collective realization. All immediately and urgently donned veils of every description. Hides, leaves, shells, rocks, even living drells were donned in the early days. You see, the face is the mechanism that expresses many of the primitive qualities that hinder sentience. Now rid of constant reminders of greed, rage, hatred, and lust, the wisdom of the Utwig was no longer hampered by constant reminders of the primitive urge. Over many generations, mask etiquette was refined to a rock-solid foundation of our society. Sure, the morality riots were expensive, both in lives and infrastructure, but the result was better mask regulation. Specification from your basic mask of grueling but necessary activity to the most highly decorated countenance of stellar representation. These were clearly defined, recognizing the importance of flexibility. Clear-cut and efficient procedures for revision and redesign dealt with the few anomalies. From that moment, when we covered the source of our intellectual oppression, we knew that it was a grand purpose that defined our destiny. Are you still listening? Our entire development. Are you still listening? Our entire development as a sentient species was coordinated to coincide with the appearance of a remarkable device, the Ultron. We were oblivious to its tragic implications.
Yow! Absolutely fascinating. But what exactly do you mean by tragic?
In order for you to truly understand the situation, you need to know more about the Ultron and its unique capabilities.
Shut up!
You see, when
At least talk in a different cadence! For the love of God!
The Druze were compelled by intrinsic universal
They're also complete patsies.
They brought
You are a patsy!
Oh, the Ultron. It assured total and complete meaning of life for all. The universal. With the Ultron in hand, I could sense not only your motivations and desires,
Please.
but your purpose. I could act upon these things in ways that would most likely seem mysterious, if not, well, daft.
Please
Years later,
give me the
you would
strength
herald our
not to kill
participation
them.
in development as the turning point for your species. The Druge were only one of the few to benefit in this way. Even now, they are puzzled by the way we rewarded them for the delivery of the Ur-Quan to its correct place.
Oh, they are.
In 24 years, 2 months, and 3 days, they will all dance the dance of jubilation.
Is that so?
Indeed, the Ur-Quan has allowed us to fundamentally change the Druge forever.
You did a good job.
The Supox, too, received many benefits from our use of the Ur-Quan. They can testify to its power.
Right. Sounds like things were going pretty well. So what happened? Other than the fact that a proctor dropped it and it broke, you moronic captain. Why are you asking this question?
Yes, things were perfect. What happened is, well,
I can't take it anymore.
I saw it happen.
You can pause and read.
Witness, I felt the Ur-Quan fill the empty.
I
I saw the
no.
Grand Proctor pass it to, well, they sensed it was a
Can't do it.
combination who had
At least the
been
Pkunk were not this
claimed
wordy. I have to deal with this whining frickin' voice.
Yet many
Game
feel
over.
that the whole story has not yet been told. It struck the ground.
Shut up.
All Utwig immediately donned the mask of ultimate embarrassment and shame with a vow to live forever.
What am I dealing with, a bunch of 14-year-olds?
All but this mask. No
Mommy
other
grounded me
mask
for
was
2 weeks
spared.
because I refused to cut them on.
I'm sure you understand. All of the courting masks, from the clever to infamous lewd, even the most fundamental fixtures, mask of natural bodily expressed of the public facility, but everyone. At that time, the proposal was that we collectively go to the second moon of the 6th planet of
Yep, I already know that, but if you didn't write that down, you do need to.
7.2 and at coordinates 850.3 by 937.2.
Yep, that's Zeta Hiatus 6B.
Planetary device to end our existence. After much discussion, we can, in the mean, I suddenly sink into a chasm.
I know what you mean.
I must go.
So, I'm sorry folks if that ruined that moment for you. Like, if I spoiled that like I have before with another game or two where I can't take it. The Utwig here are not interesting characters at all. And if I think of any race that has been fleshed out the least, it would have to be the Utwig. Pkunk are annoying, but oh my god, I have this pen in my hand right now. I want to shank you with a pen.
As do we.
Shut up. Now I'm going to do the stupid thing here. Before I go and communicate with the home world. This is moronic, I know.
Normally, we would not bother to acknowledge your presence.
Oh, really?
But you find us instead of our...
Cool. We now terminate communication to civil... effective manner. Now, I might as well save the game here. The home planet gave me nothing different. Let's save the game. Now you'll notice that although we do have the Ur-Quan, it's broken, and thus does nothing for the class. Please do not engage one of the normal ships, although I guess you could. Hey guys, guess what we've got? We've got the Ur-Quan. Want to see it?
Yeah! Should I set my gaze upon such a sight, I might suffer sleepless nights for years on end. It is a symbol of the collective Utwig failure. It is our ultimate tragedy. Why do you flaunt the husk which once was the Ur-Quan? Can't you see how much we suffer? Is this not enough? This thing you possess, this husk of lost destiny, it is the symbol of the ultimate Utwig anguish. Do not torment me so.
Do not torment me so.
You disturb.
Alright,
As do.
you're right. Okay, folks, that takes care of this video. Oh, man. This went on for way too long. That might take care of the session there. Oh, man. It's tough. I just lost my patience there with the Utwig. I couldn't handle it anymore. Those of you who want to hear all the inches of detail that allows, please feel free to engage the Utwig by getting the game and playing at your own leisure. As for me, no, otherwise I'll fucksnap. Anyway, see you all next time. Let's get on with it, the Ur-Quan Masters.